What's up guys, my name is Ace, and with the reveal of Season 2 for Modern Warfare 3, we see that there's a brand new vest coming with this season. This is the Ninja Vest, and this means we're now 2 for 2 as far as getting a brand new vest for each of the new seasons. As a result, this got me thinking, if we are getting a new vest every season, what other vests would I like to see going forward for Modern Warfare 3? Presumably, after Season 2, we should have 4 more seasons remaining, so therefore I'm going to share 4 vests that I think would be cool to see in the future. Now, of course, keep in mind, this is just me sort of having fun and brainstorming and throwing some ideas out there. I know it's a little bit different from my typical video, which is much more informational. This one is just for fun. And without further ado, the number 1 vest that I was actually hoping to see for Season 2 instead of a ninja vest, even though I'm not completely disappointed that we are seeing a ninja vest in the game, since that will open up the boot category a lot more potentially. But one type of vest I'd love to see, and I know many were disappointed that we didn't see it with Season 2, this is a quick fix style vest, or some kind of a vest that improves your health regeneration potential. Now, a little while back, you guys might remember I did a video breaking down health regeneration, as well as all of the items that can have an impact on our health regeneration, and just for a little bit of a recap, here are the results that I found, and you can only improve your health regeneration with Stim Shot, Battle Rage, only after a kill, or the Med Box, which only works once per life. So I think there's definitely a lot of room for a perk, or in this case, a vest that could improve our health regeneration as well. Now, ideally with this vest, for me, I would reduce the base healing delay. So by default, this is 4 seconds before you even start healing. I would cut that down to like 2 to 2.5 seconds, somewhere in that range with this vest. However, keep the healing rate the same, so you still do have to regenerate that health over time. It's just you will start that healing process a bit sooner. And then on top of this, I would just include the benefit we got from Quick Fix in Modern Warfare 2, where if you get a kill, this immediately triggers your health regeneration. Again, with that same healing rate. Now, one change I would make from the Modern Warfare 2 version of Quick Fix, though, is I would probably make it so it doesn't work with objective play, just because this led to a lot of really confusing situations in Modern Warfare 2. And on top of that, with the slightly slower time to kill in Modern Warfare 3, I think this could just lead to a little too much frustration with somebody like standing on a hard point and immediately healing as you're shooting them. That already created some confusion and frustration in Modern Warfare 2 for some people, and I think that would just be exacerbated in Modern Warfare 3 with the slower time to kill. So I would just do the healing delay reduction by default down to about 2 to 2.5 seconds, as well as every time you get a kill, it immediately triggers your health regen. Now, as a trade-off for that, since that would be a very powerful vest if there were no downsides attached to it, and many of the vests do have some form of a trade-off, I would say with this one, maybe no tactical grenade slot. That way you sacrifice the ability to stun enemies, and that could also slightly reduce the amount of stun spam that we see, especially on the smaller maps like Shipment, for instance. And at least in my opinion, the benefit you're gaining from this vest would be well worth that trade-off. So that's just my idea, and definitely a vest I would like to see at some point with this game, because it would be nice to be able to trigger that faster health regeneration and just get back into the fight a little bit sooner. Next, another vest that I would absolutely love to see, and I've been pushing for this since the beta of the game, and I'm still going to keep pushing for it. It's something I really hope they will eventually implement. This is a Specialist vest. And I'm sure many of you already know where this is going. With this one, make it so you don't earn any kill streaks or score streaks anymore, and instead you will earn a pre-selected perk every 2 kills within the same life. If you die, it resets back to 0. And then if you get to an 8 kill streak, this is where you get your Specialist bonus, which will give you the benefits of all of the perks, or at least all of the perks that it makes sense to apply mid-life. And with this vest, I don't think we would need any other trade-offs on the class, like losing a field upgrade or lethal or tactical equipment. Honestly, I think the trade-off of not being able to earn kill streaks is enough of a trade-off in itself. And this is just a huge feature that I missed from some previous Call of Duty games. And honestly, this is one of the biggest things I feel they could do to really liven up the game as time goes on. And I'm actually so surprised that they haven't been implementing Specialists in many of the recent Call of Duty games. For me, this would massively improve the replayability of this game. And not only that, if you had a Specialist vest in the game, I would definitely make sure that's the only vest that's used in the Infected game modes, because that's always been one of the keys to a great Infected game mode, is Specialist. Give the survivors the ability to go out there, get kills, and build up their own personal power in order for them to compete with the ever-growing horde of infected players. That makes the endgame in Infected far more interesting because you have a lot more tools at your disposal in order to compete with the ever-growing horde, whereas without Specialists, it's almost always going to end the same, where the horde just overwhelms you and there's nothing you can really do about that, regardless of how many kills you've earned as a survivor up until that point. So there we go. As far as like new content goes, this is one of the biggest requests I have for Modern Warfare 3. And I do really hope they have something planned going forward for a specialist style vest, or even if it's not a vest, just a specialist system being implemented. Now, one quick note I want to add here. I know anytime I bring this up, a lot of people say, well, how would this work? You can't have multiple pairs of gloves or boots on. And at the end of the day, honestly, I just don't think this matters. First off, you don't see any cosmetic changes to character models anyway, depending on the perks that they're using. So it's not like they would actually be wearing multiple pairs of gloves or boots in game, and that would look really strange. And second, I do find that to be a little bit nitpicky. If this is something that could massively improve the depth of the gameplay as well as the replayability of the gameplay, it would be a shame to hold that back just because they decided to label their tiers of perks as gloves, boots, and gear. Next up, when it comes to my future vest wishlist, honestly, I'd love to see a stalker vest. Now, as it is right now, the balance in the boot category is not very good. As we all know, covert sneakers are the way to go in the vast majority of games that you play. Even respawn game modes, you're almost always best off with covert sneakers. And unfortunately, that combined with the fact that these stalker boots themselves are pretty weak in this game, means that we don't really get to take advantage of that faster strafe speed with those stalker boots. Or if we do, we're trading off way too much in order to gain that small amount of power. And therefore, if they just had a stalker vest that improved our aim walking movement speed, I would hope to a larger degree than the current stalker boots. So either just make them straight up better than the stalker boots, or better yet, I would say buff the stalker boots and then just have this vest at the same level as those buffed stalker boots. And then obviously make sure you can't stack stalker boots with this, just like they do with all the perks and vests. If they had something like that, then we could properly take advantage of those faster strafe speeds while also having quieter footsteps. And in addition to that, just to sweeten the pot a little bit more, I would also have this vest very noticeably improve your aim walking steadiness stat. And this is a stat you'll see on at least some of the attachments in the game. And for those that aren't aware, this is basically the amount that your sights are going to be bobbing or swaying while aiming down sight and moving. So it's not just your standard idle sway while standing still, it's that sway you experience while moving, which would pair really nicely with a vest like this, and make sure that this actually performs better than just the stalker boots perk, because typically vests are going to be a bit more powerful than just using a regular perk. As for trade-offs, since most of the vests do have some form of trade-offs, honestly, I think a stalker vest like this would pair nicely with the infantry vest, meaning you just get sort of a default loadout alongside the vest. So you get one lethal, one tactical, one field upgrade, and one perk from each of the slots. I do think it would be nice to see some more variety when it comes to vests like this that are just basic, because many times you just want a normal class setup, but it would be also nice to branch outside of just that infantry vest and have other options while doing that. And I think a stalker vest, as I described it, would be a perfect candidate for a vest that works just like that. And there we go, this just leaves us with one last vest idea that I wanted to share in today's video, and this is a streaker vest. Obviously, the names aren't super well thought out when it comes to this, but that's the best way I could describe this vest. And with this one, initially I was thinking kill chain from Modern Warfare 2019, where it allows you to select a 4th streak, and also kill streak kills will count toward earning your next kill streak. But the problem with that is we do have score streaks in this game, and I wouldn't want to completely discourage score streak usage. And I don't think that same sort of mechanic would work well with a score streak system. So as a result, what I would say with this one is if you're using this vest, you get a 4th kill streak that you get to select while using this. Additionally, you gain the effects of mission control, so your streaks will cost 1 less kill or 125 less score in order to earn them. And then finally, as a benefit, I would make it so your streaks can now loop. Meaning, after you earn your highest streak, you can continue on and earn your streaks again without having to die. I think in the right hands, this vest could have a lot of potential power to it as far as swinging the entire momentum of a match. And as a result, I do think the trade-offs should be very noticeable. And as it is right now, we don't have any vests that restrict the gear category of perks. And therefore, I think this vest would be a good candidate for that. So if you want to use this, you could be dominating the match with your kill streaks, but you don't get Ghost, you don't get EOD. I think that would be a very fair trade-off. It would definitely make this a high-risk, high-reward sort of a vest that I realize wouldn't appeal to everyone out there. Most of the players, they just wouldn't bother with this because they're not getting their streaks up anyway. But for certain players or in certain situations, I think this would be excellent to see. And there we go. Those are just 4 vest ideas that I had that I would love to see for the future of Modern Warfare 3, assuming we are getting a new vest every season. Like I said, we're going 2 for 2 on that so far, so I'm hoping this will happen, but of course, time will tell on that. Out of all of these 4, the 2 that I would love to see the most, though, are the quick fix one and the specialist one. And this is where I want to hear from you guys in those comments down below. First off, what do you guys think about these vest ideas that I presented? Do you think they would be good additions to the game, or would you make any tweaks to them? And second, do you have any other ideas for vests that you would love to see going forward with Modern Warfare 3? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.